Yesterday, I noticed on my brokerage account, I have a column that tells me the percentage of short interest. This is what percentage of the float, those stocks that are owned by the general public, not insiders, not employees, not large institutions, those that are available to you and I. What percentage of them are sold in a short position? And it said it was 76% of APLD, Applied Digital shares. And that kind of alarmed me. So what I did was I took that information and did some research on what exactly shorts are and how they, what normal is. And I wrote a prompt and went to Samantha and said, this is what I've come across. Do a deep research on it and give me the background of this high short interest in Applied Digital. Is it a red flag or is it an opportunity? And so what she did was create me a 12-page document that basically gave me everything I needed to know, not only about Applied Digital, and who was shorting it, and what kind of reports had come out, and what their substantiation was. And she then said that she didn't believe it was 76%. She thought it was more like 33% of the float that was held in a short position. And she told me that that has raised by 12% in the last month. So I felt, first of all, it was educational. It was information that I needed to know to make a decision. I'm up, I don't know, some 600% on Applied Digital. And should I protect my, should I sell part of it? Should I sell all of it? Should I protect my profits? Should I go to the sideline? Or should I look at it as an opportunity in that there could be a short squeeze? And that is, in a short, someone has gone in and borrowed shares from their broker in anticipation that the price is going to crash. And so they can then come take their borrowed shares and get them at the price that they borrowed them at. So if they went in and shorted Applied Digital at 40 and it dropped to 20, they could then bring their shares in and sell them for 40 and make 100% on their investment. That's what a short is. On the other hand, if the market continues to believe in Applied Digital and the price continues to go up, at some point they are pressured that they're losing money and they need to sell their shorts at a higher price and lose money. That's called a short squeeze. So with that in mind, I said, I need to understand this better. So what I then did was take these 12 pages and turn them over to my AI agents of Samantha again and Bard and said, do a podcast on them. Take these 12 pages of words and put them into an understandable format that you explain that I can then share with my tribe members. And that's what I did. I notified them on our Discord, and then this morning I notified them. They all get an email from me that Trent generates for us every day. And we sent one that said, this is the podcast. Listen to it so that you understand and you can make a decision. Because all of them, there's 1,000 of them right now. They all have this kind of same profit, anywhere from 400 to 800% gains in Applied Digital. And I wanted them to be informed so they could make the best decision for themselves. What I did was put a 20% stop loss order yesterday on my Applied Digital. And then this morning, I went through and read this again. And what I then did was go take my stop loss order off. Because my belief is Applied Digital, I have been following it for a year when it was just a Bitcoin miner in North Dakota, and their data centers look like storage units where you put all your stuff, and they've grown. And they've gotten major contracts from Microsoft, and then with CoreWeave. The CoreWeave thing is, I think it's $40 million or $40 billion, I don't know, out over a number of years. And so I've been following this company for over a year, and I believe it's in the right place at the right time, and it's engineered properly and it's managed properly. And I think the shorts are wrong. So that's what I've done. But why I'm doing this video, because I've already shared all this with my tribe members and they know about it. But I got to thinking, you're a investor. And I hopefully recognize there's only four ways you can make yourself wealthy in this world. And one is to become an entrepreneur and build a company that provides the goods or services that are demanded in the marketplace, and you make a lot of money. The second way that you can become very wealthy in this economy, in this world today, is to invest in entrepreneurs who build a company and make wealth, and through your savings, you invest in them and you become wealthy. Now, the third way is one that is quite often used, and that is you make it at the altar. You marry either someone a man or a woman or whatever that is extremely wealthy, probably because their parents were entrepreneurs and they got their money. The fourth way you can become wealthy, and that's at a funeral home. When your parents or someone dies and leaves you a buttload of money. So those are the only real four ways that you can become wealthy. I have chosen to take what little wealth I have and invest in entrepreneurs. And I don't think that's even fair. I think that's too broad. You can start a company and it never makes money, like a car company. You can start a car company, and unless you have some technological, such as self-driving, attached to it, it's just a car. And you'll never make a lot of money just making cars. You'll never make a lot of money buying stocks in companies that sell groceries in your supermarket, because there isn't enough margin there. There's too much involved in making the product and getting it there, and then you don't get a good markup. No, you've got to find an industry where the payouts are the gross margins and the net margins are astronomical. And that's in this world that I have learned, that's if you can make a digital product. That is something that you make once and then you sell over and over and over again. And that's what AI is. Now we're in the build out, and that involves some investment and some infrastructure and all that. But once that's built, the opportunity to make a lot of money is there. But let's get back to the high short interest in applied digital. I want you to see this report because my goal, I was talking to a friend of mine, Jamal, yesterday, and he said, he knows how old I am. He says, "What are you doing with your life, Kerry?" Because he's 20 years younger than me. And I said, "Well, Jamal, what's important to me at this point in my life, because my runway isn't that much longer, is to make a difference. Make a difference in the world that I was brought into, and I've been here for 81 years. I want to give something back and make a difference. And what I want to do is revolutionize the investment world. I want to change it because of what I've learned AI can do for me. And this report is very indicative of what AI can do for me. And I want to share it with you because I want to convince you that there's only four ways to get wealthy in this world, and you've probably missed out on three of them. But there's one opportunity left for you, and that is take the hard money that you have saved or are saving and invest them in growth companies that make good money, strong money, have a large TAM, total addressable market, and will be there and grow for you. And then understand and be aware of, when do I get out? Do I get out when there's a heavy short interest? Do I get out when they're done building the data centers? Do I take my profits and go and invest in those who are going to deliver the product that the data center produces? That's artificial intelligence. Yeah, that's how I do it. But in order to do it, you got to know what you're buying. And that's the mistake I get. I get some. My tribe sends me on the Discord messages. Look into this stock. Look into this stock. And today I got one, and it isn't the first one. Look into this mining company. Its price is going up. Should I get into it? No. Why not? Because that company does not control the price of its product. That company's price, whether it's gold, copper, uranium, whatever, it's controlled by something that they don't control. Now, uranium may be a little different because I know why we need uranium. But gold and copper, the price will change and the company will have nothing to do with it. It's just like right now, there's a lot of movement towards biotech. I got burned bad in biotech because I overlooked one thing. Merck does not control the products it's allowed to sell. The product it is allowed to sell is controlled by the Food and Drug Administration. And then, if they even get it approved, whether or not they can get me to buy it is controlled by the insurance companies. If you've got a cure for cancer and it's sickle cell anemia. They have a cure for sickle cell anemia. 2 companies have come up with it. And it hasn't been approved because the cure cost $1.2 million. And the insurance companies aren't approving it. So you have to understand what you're buying. And the only way you're going to do that, there's 2 ways. And that is to get access to their annual report and study that company down to where you know what they're going to do before they do. And that's pretty time consuming and difficult. Or build yourself an AI agent like I have and access that AI agent on your terms because you've built the prompt to answer all the questions you need to know and the AI agent needs to know to put you and them, your AI agent, in a position where they can accurately predict the price of the stock in the next 3 years. Now, I've been doing this for about 6 months. My portfolio is up over 100%. I have some of my tribe members who tell me that I'm underperforming, that their portfolio is up 150% because they're a little more selective than I am. But they're following the lead because every analysis that I do, I create a podcast that my tribe members, go to and get this. They can walk in the park with their earbuds in, and Samantha and Bard will explain this in detail. And if there's a part of it they miss, they can rerun it. And if they forget 30 days from now, they can rerun it. In 90 days, I'll produce a new one when they have their earnings call and they update the information, and I create another podcast to update it. Again, let me get back to, I want you to see this. So I'm going to put it in a document, and I'm going to put it a Google document, and I'm going to put a link to that document in the explanation of this podcast. I'm not going to charge you anything for it. I'm not going to ask you for your email address. I don't give a damn. Because if you don't want what I am selling, shame on you. You will then have to either marry your wealth or get it from your deceased parents. Because it's probably a little too late to become an entrepreneur. I'm Kerry. I'm a retired financial advisor. I got one goal in mind. I'm going to put Wall Street out of business because I'm going to make you such a damn good investor, you don't need them.